I look at him sometimes and imagine him at 6 years old. Was he always so fragile, weak, and retarded? And I think in another life, some other context, might we have been friends? There comes a point in every relationship where you wonder, are you with me? Are you? My turn.
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. Do you know that history's greatest monster and America's first female president is exactly the same person? And her name is Jill Biden. Look at this post on X. Prepping for the G7. What the hell? What do you mean prepping? Why are you sitting in the president's desk? Why do you have the presidential seal on your jacket? Why are you doing all the, like, what's going on here exactly? You know, if you look closely enough, you can actually tell, in fact, what's happening. Jill Biden is using her husband as a meat puppet, as a corpse, in order to get power for herself, in order to be celebrated on Vogue covers and at state dinners. And she's doing it all at the expense, of course, of our nation and in the greatest depths of depravity, at the expense of her husband. Very interesting that. Joe Biden himself says, when asked about his health, that it's his brain. It's just my brain. It's what Joe Biden says. Ugh. Well, he's telling the truth here. Would you look at Nurse Ratched standing right next to Joe? Would you look at old Jill Biden there? What a garbage pail. Standing next to Joe at a hospital, bunch of ambulances behind him in this photo op, after Joe Biden announced some really severe and very dangerous experimental surgeries in order to fix his brain aneurysms. This is the Brain Aneurysm Foundation. What Joe Biden learned from his life-threatening brain aneurysms, plural. Wow. Joe Biden knows all of this. And Joe Biden also knows why the Parkinson's expert from Walter Reed, where the president gets treated, the military hospital, visited the White House 8 times in an 8-month period. Wow. Why would that be? Jill? Maybe you can explain for us, Jill. Parkinson's disease is when the patient develops tremors in their hands and stiffness and slowness of movement. Then their faces show little expressions. Their arms may not swing when they walk, and speech becomes slurred. Who does that remind you of? Who does that remind you of? Lo and behold, Joe Biden's hand literally tremoring all weekend during these campaign stops. You can see it here. You can also see it here. What a witch, by the way. Look at this. There's no dignity to this, right? Look at Joe Biden's hand. Yeah, Joe Biden's doing this. Joe Biden's doing this to our nation. Clip after clip is actually being resurfaced right now of Joe Biden having horrible hand tremors, and that's why Kevin Kennard, the top physician who studies, and he's a neurologist who studies Parkinson's disease, has been heading into the White House again and again and again and again. Now, Cringe Jean-Pierre just had a chaotic, psychotic meltdown on reporters asking why this physician was coming to the White House. But there is an important idea that is crystallizing right now inside of the chattering classes and inside of the people who do analysis like this for a living. Megyn Kelly blasts power-hungry Jill Biden for running shadow presidency in place of infirmed Joe. Jill Biden is the one who actually wants to be president. In fact, Jill Biden is the person who has been allegedly pushing Joe Biden in order to not take cognitive exams and in order to stay in the race, in spite of the fact that he clearly has Parkinson's, dementia, Alzheimer's, maybe a mix of all of them.
Nikki Haley, one of the Republican candidates, is calling for mental competency tests for those politicians over the age of 75. What do you think about that?
Ridiculous.
Would your husband ever take one of those?
I mean, we haven't even discussed, we would never even discuss something like that.
We would never even discuss something like that. Jill Biden refuses to drop out of presidential race, says the Babylon Bee. Yeah, this has become quite clear that Jill Biden is the person keeping Joe Biden in the race. Listen to this reporting from ABC News.
Martha Raddatz, the president is talking to a lot of people, but he appears to be listening to a very tight circle.
A very tight circle, and administration officials I have spoken to said that very tight inner circle is telling them he can win, that he needs to keep going. This, of course, includes his wife, Jill, who they said is lashing out at those who want him to get out of the race.
So Megyn Kelly is calling this correctly. I'm genuinely sad and angry over what these people around him are doing to Joe Biden. He deserves better than to go out like this. The answer is to let him retire with some dignity, not to keep forcing the critically wounded racehorse to run more. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this was Megyn Kelly on Piers Morgan's show saying that Joe Biden is, well, no one elected you, and you need to get up out your chair. Nobody wants you at the G7. You're just there to take care of your mentally handicapped husband, you monster.
What do you think of Jill Biden's role here and her responsibilities?
I think she's been exposed as a power-hungry aspirant herself to political power. She is on the cover of Vogue magazine right now.
Yeah.
Why? Because she wants to promote herself. She tweeted out a photo of herself sitting in the president's chair not long ago when he was preparing for the G7 meeting with his chair hanging over the back of the chair. She's not the damn president. Get out of the chair. No one wants you at the G7. No one elected you to lead us politically. And a couple of years ago, I did a bit that went viral on how she insists on being called Dr. Jill Biden everywhere. And all these left-wingers got upset with me. She is a doctor. She's got her PhD. She's in education, what have you. I don't make fun of that degree. My own father had that degree. But my father would never have insisted somebody call him Dr. Kelly. He went by professor, and that was a title he'd earned. Why does she insist on it? Because she's power hungry, because she has a small fractured ego that she needs built up. She needs the affirmation of strangers to give her an honorarium. That really means almost nothing. The only people who get to be called doctor legitimately, I understand, no disparaging of the degree, are medical doctors. If you can't say, yes, I will resuscitate him when he has a heart attack on a plane, stop using that label. When you get introduced at a book club or on The View, which is what she does, all right? And I do think it's tied to what we're seeing now, the big reveal about her. She's power hungry. She wants it. What did we see from her on debate night? We saw her take the stage and guide the president of the United States down the stairs like a mama would of a toddler, like you and I both did when our kids were babies. And then after the debate, that clip that was everywhere with her saying, "You did it. You answered all the questions." Again, speaking to her the way I speak to my dog when he sits on command.
It really was.
This is the leader of the free world. She knows how infirm he is. She wants a shadow presidency.
You know, Megyn Kelly brings up a good point there. Who is the real president of the United States? This is from today. Joe Biden has 0 events scheduled. 0. This is Joe Biden's schedule. Jill Biden, on the other hand, is in 3 different states. Let's look at this. She's going from Wilmington to North Carolina. North Carolina, she's delivering remarks at a political event. Then she's going to Tampa, Florida, and she is delivering remarks in Tampa, Florida. Maybe we should have gone to that. Doubt they would have credentialed us. And then she's going to Columbus, in Columbus, Georgia, and delivering remarks. Okay. This seems a little strange. What's going on here? Joe Biden has 0 events, and Jill Biden's crisscrossing the entire country. Yeah. We're kind of sick of it, these people. They are abusers. They will do anything for power, and they're committing elder abuse right now. They should be criminally prosecuted. That's the official and hardened stance of this program. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe to prosecute Jill Biden for elder abuse. See ya.